We are at one of the coolest places in Charlotte right now. We are at Super Abari. This is where you can come, play some games, get a little tipsy, and have a lot of fun. We spoke with the owner of Super Abari to find out how it became a Charlotte safe haven for gamers and people looking for fun.
So it's something I always kind of wanted to do since like college. Originally there was Barcade in Brooklyn, which I thought was such a cool concept. It was kind of one of those things like, what if one day I have some money to do it? I was working in IT and just kind of got fed up. And it was around 2014 that I was like, you know what? I'm going to try and find a small business loan. I'm going to try and go for it. So, got my business plan together, secured a small business loan, and it took about 2 years to finally open, but March 2016 is when we first opened.
Wow, so you left corporate IT to come and do this.
Yeah.
That's a huge risk. That's awesome.
Yeah,
and it looks like it's been a huge success.
I'm happy with it for sure. My parents and my family thought I was stupid, but, I proved them wrong. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters, man.
We wanted to take a quick walk around to see how big Super Abari is. Let's take the tour.
All right, you were the first and original arcade bar in Charlotte. Knowing that there are now others in Charlotte, in Concord, how does it make you feel to be you're the trendsetter around?
I mean, pretty good. Honestly, a lot of the bar, specifically like the basement in Concord, and then we had Paranoia, which is now moving into Kannapolis. We're all kind of close-knit, and Troy specifically, when he was open, bounced ideas off of me. So it felt good to like him come to me for guidance a little bit. And then, obviously we kind of proved the market. So these bigger chains like Pins and stuff have now come in.
When I started working here, I had not really known too much about it because I'm a transplant to Charlotte, but I am a nerd by nature. So yeah, I was told to come check it out and do a couple shifts, and I loved it immediately.
Do you do your repairs? I've seen pictures on you of you doing your own repairs on your pinball machines on Facebook. How long have you known how to do all that, and do you do it on all your machines?
So when we first opened, I was the only tech. I quickly found that that's impossible for me because I needed help, doing so much other stuff. So I hired Matt Monderano back then. He's been a tech with us since 2016, and we've since hired basically 2 more techs, and we have generally on the weekends, Friday and Saturday, we have 2, I would call them junior techs who do quick fixes like coin jams and buttons and whatnot.
Did you collect any machines on your own before you opened Abari?
Yeah, so I probably have been collecting pinball and arcade machines since about 2007, but never in like big quantities. I would have like 1 or 2. And, gradually, I really didn't know too much about pinball, but mostly arcade.
Do you have a favorite pinball or arcade game that is here?
That's here right now. I mean, I would say it kind of changes because we freshen up the floor pretty much monthly.
Okay.
But the coolest game I think that we've got in right now is called Stodo. And it's basically like, I don't want to say it's beer pong. It's kind of close. You have ping pong balls, and you're trying to like bounce them into like a funnel, and then there's like a mission mode where you're trying to hit it off different pads and then go into the funnel. So
I'll totally have to play that after.
Oh, it's fun, yeah.
Like, what's your favorite game that you've got to play?
So my favorite game here, I really like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's an obscure anime that I like, but yeah, it's down there. I've never seen that game or knew it existed, so I'm glad we got it here.
What was something you played as a kid nonstop?
I mean, I can remember, like, I always use this memory because it's like pretty near and dear to my heart. So we were living in my grandmother's basement at the time because my parents were building one of our first houses. There was like a big console TV down in there, and I just remember sneaking up, maybe, it was probably like 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning, everybody's asleep, and playing Super Mario Brothers 2. And that's kind of when I knew, I was like, oh, I love video games.
What older console systems would you prefer to play? I saw, because we see over there you have some older systems.
Yeah.
Do they get used a lot over there? And is it one of your favorites?
My favorite personally is NES. I collect mostly NES. That's my nostalgic, console, what I grew up on. But yeah, I mean, everything here gets played. The 64 gets played a lot. And of course, we have newer console like the Switch. 360 was kind of a in between because, the way I look at it is, I was in college when that came out, but there are people who grew up as that was their first console. So, you get a lot of people who want to play Halo or Gears or whatever.
All right, so I've seen you have a lot of really fun events that you put out, whether it's pinball tournaments or something else.
Yeah.
What has been some of the most memorable ones you've already done, and what made it so?
Oh man, I mean, I always enjoy we do like a block party, anniversary party. It's always great. We actually just did it last month. But we have a bunch of local vendors, food trucks, local bands, and it always ends up being really fun. And it's a good way to showcase kind of the talent here in Charlotte.
So far, one of my favorite events is we have the fighting game community come here on Thursday. We have Third Strike Street Fighter on a discount, so they come and play that. But they also like to come in and bring their own games to play and, really foster that community between the common interests.
I think a lot of your clientele is kind of more nostalgic based. You know what I mean when I say that?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I think we are a nostalgia bar, first and foremost. We definitely get a lot of, especially on the weekends when we do all ages, we get some kids and families. And I think that's a great way for the parents to show, hey, this is what I grew up. And you kind of spark that passion in the kids too. And it always amazes me to see, 5, 6, 7-year-old kids who really like to play the classics like, Miss Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, whatever, and they know it and they love it. So it's kind of awesome to see.
But I know you had to close in 2020 due to COVID. What was it like not knowing if you were going to be able to reopen or not?
I mean, it was weird. I remember the day, actually we were just talking about this week with one of the guys who was there when we were like, I guess we can't open up, At first, we had no idea. It could have been, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but then obviously that was not the case. So I had a bunch of going back and forth with myself, and I'm like, do I reopen? I had literally just paid off that original small business loan, so I was kind of in the free and clear. But I'm an idiot, and I was like, let's do it again. So I had to take out more money, and here we are today.
What do you feel has been some of your best improvements or upgrades from your previous location to here?
I would say the flow of the space is just better for both staff and customers. I mean, we have larger bathrooms. We moved the walk-in to behind the bar, so it's easier to change kegs and for service. Obviously a larger game floor, which comes to a sacrifice with like storage space and everything. But I just think overall this is better for crowds. The old spot was a little claustrophobic sometimes, and this is just a much more open
I guess a real follow-up to that is, have you noticed a difference in clientele coming from the old place to the new place? Like, do you get more people in?
I mean, we've still kept our core regulars, I would say, from our original spot, but we've definitely made a whole bunch of new regulars as well. I don't know if that's because of the changes or just the fact that, we got a lot of buzz for reopening, but either way, I'm really happy to see a lot of new faces and a lot of returning new faces as well.
I've seen that you have partnered with Heroes Aren't Hard to Find for their big convention in June, Heroes Con, which was where I picked up one of your cards from. I believe that's a great partnership for y'all. Do you get a lot of overlap, or do you see any uptake because of them being a partner with you?
I definitely think so during Heroes Con. We've for the past 2 years, we've done their kind of like pre-kickoff party, which is a lot of fun. We get a lot of cool artists from out of town and, have some bands play and everything. I definitely think it helps. And like you said, it is good cross promotion. I think any sort of pop culture, whether it's video games or comics or whatever, there's a lot of overlap there. Like, for instance, Venom Pinball just came out, so it's the newest pinball machine, and I think it's a fan favorite because, one, it's got a great art package and people like Venom, and then it's a fun pinball machine, so it just really good overlap there.
Do you partner with any other businesses around?
I mean, we do a lot of stuff with different charities. Like most recently, we did right down the street. We have the Innovation Barn, and they're really cool. They basically incubate a bunch of startups that are more eco-friendly, conscious, and we helped this market called the Bulb recently, which helps serve underserved food markets with like fresh produce and stuff like that. But as far as other businesses that are, businesses, not nonprofits, we work a lot with local bars like Hattie's, Tommy's Pub, and then Vizart, and so a lot of what I would say core Charlotte businesses. We all are pretty good, at helping each other out.
All right, tell us about this game you were telling me about before.
Yeah, so this is Axel Smooth. Basically around 2017, 2018, we had a partnership with CPCC. They have a game development and design program. And so I did a game jam with a bunch of their students at the time. And so there was a lot of different game concepts for an arcade game. We kind of settled on this beat 'em up. And then so all the students worked on Axel Smooth. So it's kind of been in limbo for a very long time at this point, but they just wrapped up, and now a lot of the students have definitely graduated a bit ago, but they formed a company called Iridescence. And so this is kind of the culmination of all their work. We released it back in September during our block party, and yeah, it's kind of cool. It's got the city of Charlotte in it. You start out at the old Abari. Some aliens come down and kind of wreck Charlotte, and as Axel and Ronan, the player 2 character, you're just kind of going through Charlotte, beating up aliens to save Charlotte, and yeah, I'm the end boss, which is cool.
Hey, this is awesome, and a Super Abari exclusive.
That's right, yeah.
So one of the things that Charlotte's becoming really known for are its breweries, right?
Yeah.
Craft brew is everywhere.
Yeah.
What kind of craft beer do you think would be best to represent Super Abari?
Oh, if I'm going off sales, probably hazy IPA, but some sort of hazy IPA. But I mean, I would say realistically, we're a PBR at heart, So,
All right, cool.
Yeah.
How do you want people to remember Super Abari when they come to visit?
I mean, I want it to be a unique experience, right? I want them to see games that they don't usually see at other places. I want to give them an environment that they can remember. Whether it's the giant Game Boy here, like the TV wall, or doing the display cabinet. I want something to keep it fresh. So maybe you don't come for 3 months, you come back and you're like, oh wow, I've never seen this, and kind of fall in love with stuff. And also really want it to be a social place. So hopefully you make new friends by just picking up a random game and playing with somebody.